Hello.
Yes.
Hi.
Oh, you are.
Yeah, it's me that texted you.
All right. I thought you are like a man, but it turned to be you are a lady. All right. So, in the text you said you used to be Ahmadiyya, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, what do you want to tell us about Ahmadiyya? Go ahead. I will leave the microphone for you.
I'll just tell my testimony.
All right.
Before I start, I just wanted to say, it says in 1 Timothy 4, don't let anyone think less of you because you are young. Be an example to all believers in what you say and the way you live in your life, your faith and your purity. So, my journey started when I was 18, and people think that I'm too young to know what I'm talking about, but God reveals himself to those that seek him. So I'll start. So it started when I was around 17. I started learning more about Ahmadiyya because I was born into Ahmadiyya. I wanted to know more about it. I wanted to know what I believed. So I started my research and I found some things that I didn't know were the beliefs that were widely held. So their website, alislam.org, is what I was using. And for example, one of the things I saw, it said that Jesus traveled to India and died a natural death. He didn't die on the cross, an imposter was put there, and that he traveled to preach the lost tribes of India. So when I found that out, I knew that went against what mainstream Islam says about where Jesus died. So that really drove me to start looking deeper. They also said that his tomb can be found in Kashmir. When I found that out, I said that is a bit problematic because if his physical body is on this earth, then that would disprove mainstream Islam because it says an imposter was put on the cross and he was risen to heaven. And that would also disprove Christianity where it says he died and rose again. Mm-hmm. So I decided to do my research. During this time, my friend invited me to church, so I started going. And then I reached a point where I said, I cannot continue coming to church unless I make a decision, because it's sinful for me to come here as a Muslim. I need to know like what I'm doing, what are my next steps. So my church does an altar call, and during that time, I asked God, I was like, God, if you are there, if what I'm doing is correct, please just give me a sign. I don't care how big, I don't care how small, reveal yourself to me. So I went to, my church does like a hangout thing, so this was back in 2018, and I went and I met a youth leader. The youth leader took me to this youth hangout that they had, and I said, okay, why not? What do I have to lose at this point? I was there and something in me was telling me to bring it up. So I was like to the youth people, I'm a Muslim, I'm looking at like Christianity, what should I do? Before I even got the chance to say more about myself, one of the guys there asked me, what type of Muslim are you? I said, you're never going to know. He said, I'm going to guess. I said, fine, because not many people know about Ahmadiyya. He said, you're an Ahmadi. I said, okay, that means, like, where did you get that from? Because most people would say Sunni or Shia. Mm-hmm. After he said that, he said to me, do I want a book? I was thinking, I've never met this guy. Where is he going to get a book from? It was a book by Nabeel Qureshi called No God But One, Allah or Jesus. So he gave me that book, and literally, it was an answer to the prayer that I just prayed. That book had all the answers to what
the book name again, please?
No God But One, Allah or Jesus.
Allah or Jesus, okay. All right.
So I'll place the link from Amazon as well. So that book literally answered all my prayers because I just asked God for a sign. I literally invited him into my heart. I said, God, if what I'm doing is correct, please just reveal yourself to me. So I didn't become a Christian there and then. I read the book. I carried on doing my research into Christianity and Islam. I kept on weighing both sides. The book is really good at breaking down at both sides of the story. So, for example, there's a chapter on the worldview of God in Islam and the worldview of God in Christianity. In kind of the Holy Spirit, he shares intimacy with us. We are his children, and it's focused on love. However, in Islam, God is not three parts. We've been created to be tested. We live focusing on the law, so different things. Our good deeds is what's being tested, if that makes sense. So we're basically aiming to have more good than bad. So there's no real relationship. So after I found all of that out and I carried on getting to know Jesus, I decided to give my life to Christ. And since then, I've just been trying to get other people to see the truth. I've been trying to get other people to see that Ahmadiyya and Islam is not the way, but Christianity is.
I'm into that. So, but our sister here, did you hear before that Ahmad Mirza Ghulam, he died because of diarrhea?
Yes, I did, but actually no. The first time I heard it was today because I didn't know that. But even so, that's not something that was major to me. It was more about the teachings of Ahmadiyya.
But no, actually,
so
it should be major. It should be major because you see, when somebody claimed to be the Messiah, all of us, we can die anyway. I mean, all of us as a human, we can die anyway, right? So that's not the problem, really. I mean, people, they die by car accident, by fire, by. But when you claim to be the Messiah, the one who healed people by just touching him, right?
Yeah.
It is not logical to say that the one who healed everybody, he did not heal himself.
Yeah.
You know? So because he chose the person of the Messiah, then he is in trouble. Otherwise, if he chose to be the Christian prince, okay, well, Christian prince, he might die because of the same, you know, because he's not claiming to be someone special, right, with a special ability and miracles. No. So when he chose to be a person who is the Messiah, he exposed who he is by his death.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I also forgot to add. So when I received the book, yes, to the people in the comments, I was born into a Muslim family. My entire family is Muslim. The reason why that specific thing was so special is because the person that gave me the book, he had it for over a year. And on that day, he randomly decided, oh, I'm going to read it on my way home from church. But God used him in a way that nobody expected. He didn't even expect it. He thought he was just picking up a book to read on his way home. So, yeah, it's literally, I just think everyone should read that book. Even if you're a Christian, read the book, look into Nabeel Qureshi, because I feel like many people, when it comes to evangelizing, they try and focus on, like, people that believe in God but are not practicing, or like atheists. No, not many people focus on other religions. That's why I really like what you do, Christian Prince, because you've done your research into Islam and you're, like, refuting it.
No, thank you. You know, see here, I notice that you mentioned the book of our brother, may the Lord bless his soul, Nabeel Qureshi. And this is what we're saying, that you see, all of us, we will die. The Bible says, let the dead bury the dead. But look, Nabeel, he died, but he's alive. Here we go. We are talking about him, and he was behind saving our sister here. So even he passed away, still he will save people by what he left behind. That's why we encourage all of you to do some work, because the Lord, he said, from the fruit you shall know them. And the fruit of our brother Nabeel is speaking to us right now as we speak live on air. I'm not going to say what's your name in Skype. I'm going to ask you, what about your parents? They're still Ahmadiyya?
Yeah, so when I got to a stage where I was hiding that I was a Christian, and my friend spoke to me. At the time, you know, in Islam, you pray 5 times a day. There's not really a personal relationship with God. Like when you pray, you're saying specific words over and over again. So it came to a point where I was learning how to pray as a Christian. It's simply a conversation with God. But people told me to pray the Lord's Prayer. So I was praying the Lord's Prayer, and my friend asked me, do you pray the Lord's Prayer? I said, yes. He said, do you pray, God, let your will be done? I said, yes. Then he said, then you need to tell your family, because you can't live a double life. You need to be proud. You need to be always able to defend your faith in Jesus. So I told my mum. My mum made it hard, a bit hard for me, but it's okay. She's come to terms with it now. And at first, my dad disowned me. He said he wants nothing to do with me if that path is the path I'm going down, that he thinks I'm brainwashed, that I have been brainwashed by Nabeel Qureshi and stuff. So yes, my family is still Muslim, but I'm still praying that they see the light one day. Yeah. Well,
I will be happy to talk to your parents, and I will speak to them nicely if you like, even in the private. I don't mind. Like if you can tell them, do you like to talk to this person? You know, I will speak to them in a very nice way, as if they are my parents. I promise you. Yeah. You know, and I will be happy to talk to them, because, you know, I don't blame them for being stubborn and not to listen. Because this is how they grow up. I mean, it's not easy. It's not easy to leave. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not easy to leave at all, especially like when you've grown up and this is all you know. So at first I was hurt, but now I understand.
Exactly.
My family hasn't turned from me. We're okay now.
Okay.
But they are still not Ahmadiyya. It's just, I feel like it was the initial, they are still Ahmadiyya, sorry, they're not Christians, yeah. I feel like it was the initial shock.
You know,
thank you for your prayers.
Yeah, do you know the power of the drop of water?
No.
Okay, the drop of water, if you have a faucet at your home, let us say in the backyard you have a faucet and this faucet is leaking. Yeah. After a few years of not, let us say you have a husband who don't care, you know, and he will not fix the faucet. After a few years you will find a hole in the tiles.
Yeah, that's true.
But do you know how hard the tile is? It's very hard. It's a rock. Still, a drop of water was able to make a hole in it. This is what you can do. You can be the drop of water who can soften a rock. Never give up.
Thank you, I will.
Yeah. You know, I have many people who used to, there's a guy, he used to open a chat room in Paltalk for 3 years for me. He's a doctor from England. He, you know, the whole chat room is just attacking me about Christian Prince lying. Christian Prince is lying to you. He is not saying the truth. 3 years, non-stop, every day. And then one day, he came to the chat room and he said, everything this guy is saying is absolutely true. I thought he's joking, being sarcastic, because this guy supposedly is an enemy for me. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way. Yeah. He is the last one. I mean, and then I thought maybe this is a fake person using this, like, you know, you can make a name look like it, you know. So, and then we gave him the microphone. It was him. 3 years attacking me, saying Christian Prince is lying. And then he said, I cannot take it no more. Everything he said, I check it out to be trying to be true. I was lying to myself. I cannot take it no more. I am out of this garbage. So, people sometimes because the truth is painful, the truth is not comfortable. The truth is it hurt, you know.
Yeah, it does hurt, yeah.
Because it hurt, you switch to the defense, you know, mood, and your defense mood says, I don't want to believe it even though it's true. And then by time, either you live the rest of your life in denial, lying to yourself, or you have to be honest with yourself and you say, you know what, the truth is ugly. I have to accept it.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I'm so grateful to have you, our sister here, and I hope some Ahmadiyya will call us and will prove us wrong. But you know, for me, always I try to present information in a very easy way. This is why I'm focusing today in this guy dying by diarrhea, because not all Christian, I mean, not everybody knows what Ahmadiyya teach. You know, Ahmadiyya is not too much like their books. Even many people do not know even what the books of Ahmadiyya. They think it's Quran. The fact Ahmad Mirza Ghulam, he have his own Quran. You know?
Yeah, that's another thing. So many of the things, once I started seeking the information for myself, many of the beliefs that they held, I didn't know is what I should have believed. So unless you go looking, you will never find out. And especially like there's a language barrier as well. So because the language that they use is Urdu for some of their books and stuff, it makes it harder for those that don't speak Urdu. Yeah, you're just blindly following. Another example, so they tend to do missionary trips. I feel like that's how my family at least became Ahmadi. They did missionary trips across West Africa. And because you're giving people clean water, schools, etc., it's like they feel like they should follow this. It's as if God has answered their prayers because they've been met in the physical. But it's not just about the physical, it's about the spiritual. If your spiritual is not correct, then like it's not good.
Yeah, you know, you mentioned something about relationship with God. Did you watch my previous video I made just 2 days ago?
No, I haven't.
Well, you should watch it, because you will see that in Islam there is nothing called this personal or spiritual relationship with Allah. For Allah first is not a spirit. How you can have a spiritual relationship with someone himself is not a spirit. Same time, the God of Islam, you know, he never connected with Muhammad in a spiritual way. He sent him always an angel. You see, if you go in the Quran says, the Quran used the word wahi. Wahi means inspiration. But all of us, we knew that Muhammad never received inspiration. He received a message. How that is inspiration?
Yeah, that's true. Because especially in Islam as well, the Quran is seen as the exact word of God, His exact words. But then this is another point I came across during my research. So I think it was Uthman. He recalled all the Qurans and had them burnt so that they could print a standardized version, because Arabic was an oral language at the time. It wasn't written down. So when they started writing it down, many different forms were being created. So, but the thing is, there's a hadith that says one of the best reciters said a verse was missing. And that really makes you ask questions about what you believe. If verses are missing. If verses are missing, stuff could be added in as well.
Exactly. And actually, even the all right, sister. Thank you very much for calling. We appreciate having you. And we hope you're welcome. Good to have you.
So 1 second. Just before I go, guys, if you are looking or even questioning about Jesus, I just ask that you ask God to reveal Himself to you. He will do it.
I'm into that.
That's cool.
Thank
you.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye. You too.
Bye-bye.